Another big man in his field, Bogart.
I see they still didn't spring for another bulb for the top of the camera that's broken this summer. We got to get up a collection plate and get that 50 cents up one of these times.
Right, we haven't seen you in months. It's good that you're back.
Yeah, I know. I've been like wandering out there among the grassroots, as it were, picking up all kinds of information and finding out what makes America high. And boy, that was a hard act to follow, Tiny Tim.
Oh.
What a guy! What a star!
Yeah, he was good.
Bring back Beanie, the singing dog. It'll be easier to get a.
It's going to go on after.
Oh, something to say earlier that you mentioned about talking about cuffs, pants cuffs.
Right. Hey.
And you were making fun of them.
I was.
Like, well,
you don't wear cuffs.
Well, no, I don't wear cuffs, but Vincent Titus, who I have always considered to be a fashion bellwether, does wear cuffs, and I think they're going to come back. Can we get those cuffs on? Now, this is this class or is this class? Okay, this stuff is going to be next week in
Women's Wear Daily.
Women's Wear Daily. That's
Gentleman Quarterly.
At least.
Something like
that. So, let's hear it for cuffs. All right, one more distraction. I just have to say this, I usually don't make political comments on this show, you all know, but this week earlier I read that Koch is going to remove the Department of Transportation in New York, all the heads of the Department of Transportation, and replace them. And like, this is the best news. I mean, have you people been out there on these streets trying to drive around? It took me to get from 43rd and 3rd to 63rd and Central Park West 1 hour and 31 minutes tonight. 1 hour and 31 minutes.
Michael.
Last year, it only took about an hour and 10 minutes, you know?
Don't bother the viewers with your petty problems.
This is important stuff, you know? They should all get on the phone and call up and apply for these jobs, you know, so that they know that there's some interest out there. All right, let's get on with the real news. Okay, this summer, let's talk about pot. A major thing happened in terms of the pot enforcement this summer. You may all be aware, and you heard it first here, if you were listening carefully. The DEA has been more or less disbanded. It has at least ceased to function as its own agency. It is now under the benign auspices of the FBI. Now, this is a mixed blessing. For those of you who follow government workings very carefully, you will know that the FBI in the 70s, after Watergate, has become quite a liberal institution. And this is good in one way. The smugglers loved it during the period when the liberals are in power, during Carter and Ford. I mean, this is, you can get away with more under liberals, let's face it. But now, it's, things may change. Things may change. And also, of course, the FBI with all these young neophyte types who know a lot of people in the media, of course, plugged in the media scene, which means we may all get caught. You know, which means everybody out there, and let's face it, the media in New York is probably by far the biggest users of drugs. So, you can tell this audience is not made up by media people, because if they were, they would be like, calling me a liar, you know. But,
this is the first Sesame Street we've had without a joint.
That's true. How come you haven't?
I don't know.
Joints showering from the audience. I guess they're saving them for the Rolling Stones concert this weekend. All right, the Garden, right? Okay, now, let's get on. As I say, the DEA has been brought in the auspices of the FBI, which we will remain to see what happens, but dopers have struck back. There is now an organization has been formed this summer. You'll be hearing more about it, called DOPEC, which is just what you think, exactly. It is the dope exporting countries of the world, Mexico, Colombia, Panama, and several others, and representatives of these countries have gotten together and exchanging information now, a kind of a dope clearinghouse, and which should bring things to us consumers all faster. So let's get on to the news itself, which should start out with the summer drought, which we all missed this summer. No tears to be shed. This has been the best year for recreational drugs, particularly marijuana, but the best year for recreational drugs since Albert Hoffman accidentally stuck his finger in his mouth after inventing acid. There was so much pot this summer that they are, I'm told in Miami, they have such a backlog of pot to burn that they have like a 2-month waiting list. They have warehouses filled up. They cannot burn it as fast as they're like taking it in. And you have to keep in mind, of course, that this is only like 1/10 of what's getting through, using that old knee-jerk figure. And as a consequence, all summer long, there were good prices. Pounds were steady. Commercial Colombian at about $365 to $450 a pound. It was good. It wasn't great. Great stuff cost you more, $450 to $600 a pound. But if you had the money, it was there. It was there all summer long. Mexican made a big comeback this year. Manana, that's what they always said, it finally arrived. Mersh, 300 to about 475 a pound. Not bad stuff. There was some Primo Oaxacan that came up. It's been around 900 to 1,000 a pound. Excellent stuff when you compare it to Sensimilla round, which is, of course, is about 3 times that high. Thailand, still strong. Thai pot is about 2,100 a pound right now. On the hash front, Lebanese hash, like an unwanted lover, still around. People don't want it. The price has been dropping. You can get it now for about $650 for a pound of red Lebanese hash. You know. All right, let's get on to the sex and pot survey, which began, I think, a couple weeks ago. And what's happening here? The blob is at my feet. What is it?
Our rug.
All right. As may have probably pointed out to you, the interesting survey going on now, and probably going to go on for a while. It seems that, like pot, like intercourse itself, has an equal number of enthusiasts among both sexes. And there have been a lot of dealers have been talking about the remarkable fact that women seem to buy more pot than men. And yeah, this is true of several big league dealers I've talked to. What generally seems to be the breakdown is that women buy more frequently and more often, and men, and for their own use, whereas men seem to buy to sell it and less often, but in greater bulk. So it's usually, you know, like the old thing, women like small guns too, you know. Little
well,
things
maybe the men are freeloading off the women.
This is true. Someone pointed this out to me the other day. A lot of women are buying men pot these days. This may be true.
They're in control of the industry.
That's what the hand that rocks, holds the joint, rules the world. And we're still, of course, keeping up with this survey. I don't know if we're going to have time to take any calls today. You think we're going to have time to squeeze it?
I don't think so. No, we have to say goodbye. In fact, we
right,
almost have to say...
So you all think about it this week, and like next week, we're on live next week?
Yeah, we'll be here.
Live as we can be?
That's right.
All right.
With another surprise, far out and funny, unusual, great guest. Like, what's his name? David Street? Renfro? David Street is the name, and he'll be here next week. And we're also going to have some other fun people. And we'll see you next week. So we're going to hopefully dance our way out. And Vincent is 75. Send him a birthday card or you can't watch anymore. Bye.